Hey guys, it's Tyrocco here, and in today's video, I want to show you something that's going to save you so much time. I'm just going to have to show it to you before you're even going to believe it. Now, this is probably the most asked question that I get on my stream. Before I get into the exact details, I want to jump into what exactly it is before I get into showing you how to do it. Now, whenever you go to the campaign, this is probably where you're going to spend about, let's say, 99.9% of the time playing the game, especially with all this champion training events that's been going on recently. You're probably going to spend the majority of your time doing Chapter 12, Stage 3 on Brutal. So if you're going to spend so much time doing that, why not make it as fast as you possibly can? And you may be doing it in 30 seconds if you're a beginner. Maybe you got lucky and you got like an 8 to 10 second campaign farmer. That's great. But what if I could show you a way to get a 5-second campaign farmer? All right, so if you join my stream, you probably already know what I'm going to show you, but if not, I'm about to blow your mind. So let me show you what exactly 5 seconds can save you. So say you're doing the campaign in let's say 10 seconds, okay? So first off, let's just assume you're wanting to run down your energy cap. So 130 divided by 8, which is how much energy each run costs. So let's say it's about 16 runs. You can't do a quarter of a run, so it's just 16 runs. 16 runs times 10 seconds each is 160 seconds. So 160 seconds works out to be about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Now let's compare that to if you had a 5-second campaign farm, which is half the time. Well, some quick maths tell me half of 2 minutes and 40 seconds is going to be 1 minute and 20 seconds. Do you know what else you can do in 1 minute and 20 seconds? Well, let's think. You could put some pizza rolls in the microwave and have them done by the time you get done with your campaign farming and get to the microwave before the beeper goes off. You could put some chicken nuggets in the microwave, get there before it goes off. And really, anything you want to cook in the microwave is going to be done in about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Better yet, let's just say 1 minute and 30 seconds will be done. So you could do your campaign farming and get the stuff out of the microwave before the beeper goes off. Now, if you're doing 10-second campaign farms, obviously you're going to have to come do your farms, take a break, go in there and get stuff out of the microwave. So what I'm about to show you is going to be such a massive time saver. You're going to be able to cook while playing Raid and not have to take a break while you're doing your campaign farming. So let's get right into this, guys. Now, obviously, I'm going to be using Felhound. He is the fastest campaign farmer. Plain and simple. That's all there is to it. Now, there is a secret. After many weeks, many months of using Felhound, I've learned all the secrets you need to know. Now, I'm going to show you two examples. One, I'm going to show you what happens when you run with a dwarf. Dwarfs are a no-go. You don't want to bring a dwarf in your team. Running through the campaign is just going to slow you down. They're a little chunky, they're a little clunky, and they're pretty slow overall. So let me show you what disaster this causes when you bring in a team of pretty chunky boys, all right? So we got 3 people, pretty slow people. So like we said, this Felhound, let's see how long this campaign farm takes. So we're at 4 seconds right now. 6 seconds, all right? We're not looking for decent, we're looking for fully optimized campaign farming. Now, let me show you how to get this fixed. So this works on mobile as well. We don't want the clunky dwarfs, we want to use the dogs. All right, let's find this. Let's take a squad of dogs. I believe this works with incubuses as well. I'll show you afterwards. But look at this. These dogs run so much faster and boom, 5-second campaign farm each and every time without a fail. Click this real fast, get to the microwave, your food is done, you're a happy raid player. Now let me show you what happens if you take an incubus, which this is most likely going to be the champion you're using majority of the time. I mean, these champions drop from this campaign stage, so you're going to be using these most of the time. Now I'm about to waste some energy because as you can see, these people are already fully maxed out, level 30, 3 stars. So I'm going to waste some energy just to show you guys how this works. Look, boom, 5-second campaign farm. So the key here, outside of Felhound's gear, which I'm about to jump into, is having champions who are not slow. Don't bring dwarfs. Don't bring some other people, possibly skinwalkers. I'm not for sure about them, but dwarfs are no-go. Don't bring dwarfs. Incubuses work perfectly. The Hound Spawn works perfectly. The uglier version of Felhound, which may trick you up. This guy, he works perfect. Bring him along, get him some food, get him leveled up. Easy peasy. Now let me jump into Felhound's gear. The most important part. Now, when gearing Felhound, the reason why he is so amazing is because he scales off of defense and attack. So it allows you to be a little bit more flexible with your gear. With that said, you do need quite a bit of gear and quite a bit of damage in order to make him work correctly. Because if he does not one-shot the waves, like if he, I guess the AI, if it doesn't believe he's going to one-shot the waves, instead of using the A1 ability, he'll actually use one of these other two abilities, which is no good. You don't want that because it turns your 5-second golden farm into a 13, 15-second farm, and we just can't have that. So make sure you have the best gear you have with defense and attack. It makes it a little bit more flexible because you can use defense and attack. It scales off both of them, so that's a good relief. Now, as far as the gear you actually put on Felhound, let me jump into what I did. Now, speed is not something that's super important with Felhound. Some campaign farmers, like Bellower, you can get their speed high enough to where they go twice. You don't want to do that with Felhound, because if you do that with Felhound, he won't be using his A1 ability twice. Instead, he'll most likely be using one of these abilities and then his A1, so he's not going, and when I say A1, I mean ability 1, and then he's not going to be going as quite fast as a 5-second farm. Now, when it comes to gearing, I didn't really get very good set bonuses. I did get this 20% crit damage, but the set bonuses aren't super important. Like this speed set bonus I have, it wasn't intentional. It just so happened that the gear I had gave, the best pieces I had gave me that set bonus. So it worked out, it's decent. Felhound's also a beast in Fire Knight, so it does help there to have a little bit more speed. So you cycle through your block, so your reflect damage better. We're not talking about that. We're focused on the campaign farming here. Now, his boots, defense percent boots, don't get speed boots on Felhound. Most champions you need speed boots on. Felhound, no go. Don't need speed boots. Chest plate, defense percent. You can go attack percent on either one of these as well. Doesn't really matter. He does have a higher base defense, so if you're able to, and that's what it scales off of. So if you're able to get more defense, that's even better than attack percent. But if attack percent is all you have, throw that on him. It's no problem whatsoever. The gloves, definitely crit damage. You want the best crit damage possible, and this is where it's kind of difficult to gear your Felhound, is because as an early game player, you're not going to be able to get the crit rate off of all your gear, most likely enough 100% crit rate in order to make it make sense. So you're going to have to probably use crit rate gloves, and that just doesn't work with Felhound. So if you're an early game player, this is probably not going to work for you, but this is something really good to keep in mind. But you definitely want crit damage gloves. And then crit rate, I try to get crit rate on all my gear, crit rate substat that is, because I want 100% crit rate. I do have 100%. The biggest thing is you do not want to have 99, 98, 97. You do not want anything less than 100% crit rate. The reason why is because you're going to be doing so much campaign farming with Felhound that if you miss 1 in 100 crits or whatever it is, it's going to slow those runs down. And if you're bringing Felhound for the purpose of just going super fast, you don't want those inconsistencies in your runs. It definitely turns a 5-second run into a 15, 20-second run, which is not something we want. Now, when it comes to ring, I have a defense ring, crit damage amulet, super important, resistance banner, which is not something that's very good. I would actually much rather have defense, anything other than resistance, honestly. Obviously not accuracy, but let's see really quick what we can get on the banner that I would rather have. So we do have some stats missing there. So I could get primary stat, I could get defense or attack. So if I could get one of those as banner, I would love that. But as it stands right now, he's super consistent, clears it all, one shot, no problem. Total stats, let me show you, go through here. Now the total crit damage we have on Felhound is, I think, it's a little bit more than we need. But I'm pretty sure I have someone on my Discord who has closer to the 230% range, and it works pretty well for them. Now the amount of defense, I believe about this number is pretty solid. 3,500 may work well, but these stats are very consistent, very, very, very consistent. I've had to push up a little bit more crit damage for him. Let me jump into, before I jump into showing the masteries, let me talk about which stats you need. So speed, you just want to make sure it's enough speed to go before the waves in the campaign, which I believe is like 101 speed. You don't need very much speed at all. If you see your Felhounds not going first against the waves, definitely go in, give him a few more points of speed, put some glyphs on him. Just make sure he's going first. If he's not going first, it's going to slow your run down. Accuracy, he doesn't need any accuracy whatsoever, so don't worry about that. Resistance, same thing, don't need resistance. Your main stats is defense when you can, Attack works great. Defense and attack are both perfect for Felhound because, as I mentioned earlier, he scales off of both of those. Crit rate to 100%, which is a must have. And then crit damage as high as you can get it. This 254% works very well for me. Now, when we jump into the Masteries, this is what I have for him. So I went down the defense tree just because, as you know, it scales off of defense and attack. So I got, well, defense from the defense support tree, or the defense tree, and then I got these Masteries on the offense side. Super consistent, works out really good. I love it. And then I went down here to this flawless execution to get this 20% damage, and these Masteries have worked excellent for me. I don't have anything here, as you can see. He doesn't really need anything from this row, but overall I think Felhound definitely does need the Masteries to perform to the best of his ability. Overall, this just helps make sure those runs are super consistent. Now, that is how you gear your Felhound. That is how you get him to do the 5-second campaign farm. There are possibly a few other champions who can do it, but personally, I haven't seen any other champions who can do it alongside food. I've seen some champions who can do it solo, but I'm not for sure if it changes based on the animations when you add in extra champions. But if you're looking for a fast campaign farmer in your late game, possibly mid game, Felhound is an excellent option. Now jumping into early game, and if he's the best option for early game, absolutely not. So I have a lot of people coming to my stream. They see the Felhound, they see the 5-second farm, and they're like, holy crap. I have a 30-second farmer, my Kale takes 30 seconds, my Elaine takes 40 seconds, whatever it may be, and they're like, I have to get my Felhound leveled up. Well, what they don't see is that the amount of gear that Felhound takes is pretty much out of reach for early game players. This gear is definitely a little bit higher end, so when you're trying to gear up Felhound, you really got to keep that in mind. You can do it with a little bit less gear than what I have, but as an early game player, you're not going to be able to get your Felhound to the point that he is one-shotting the waves, so it basically makes him useless. I mean, if you're not one-shotting the waves, you're not speed farming, so you don't even really need him. So as a beginner, you definitely want to try to focus on more farmers that, well, first off, your starter. Your starter should be your first level 60. After that, you should, whenever you get to the point of actually trying to get a good farmer, which probably going to be like your third level 60, fourth level 60, somewhere around there, depending what you want to take. Bellower is an excellent option. Doesn't require a ton of gear. He just needs good crit damage. You can even gear him to do 2 hits per turn. He's also very useful in a lot of other areas of the game, whereas Felhound is really useful in the arena, or not the arena, really useful in the campaign as well as the Fire Knight. Outside of that, Felhound has some uses in wave clears throughout other dungeons, but doesn't really shine, in my opinion, anywhere else outside of the campaign and the Fire Knight. Now, in my case, I have no Cold Heart. I want to make sure you guys know that in every single video, but I have no Cold Heart, so I had to use Felhound for the reflect damage against the Fire Knight. Works perfectly, but hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Hopefully this allows you to save some time so you can cook your chicken nuggets, your Hot Pockets, or whatever you want in the microwave. So you ain't gotta worry about the timer going off before you're able to get back to it. So if you enjoy this video, make sure to leave a comment down below. Who do you use as your campaign farmer? And are you gonna gear up a Felhound? I'm definitely interested in knowing. We're trying to spread the awareness of Felhound being an absolute beast as a campaign farmer. But besides that, guys, thank you very much for watching. Feel free to join the Discord from the link down in the description below. We have a bunch of beginner clans. If you're an early game player and you're looking for a good clan, definitely join the Discord. We'll get you set up. Killing the clan boss, no problem. Feel free to check out the Twitch stream every day, except for Tuesdays and Thursdays, from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern Time. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. I'm out.